What's up, y'all? Advance here. So, when I heard that Brittany Renner went off like ballistic on a podcast that Charleston White was involved with, I gotta admit, I was like, I understand. You know, I came in ready to be on Brittany's side because she was, she been on a roll in recent months. She had a good, maybe 5 or 6 month stretch where she was talking some really good shit. But this is why you gotta step back and get context first. So ultimately, that's what I decided to do. Because initially, I was like, I understand. Because without even just hearing the sequence of events or the players that's involved, I like, yeah, Charleston White is one of those motherfuckers that make you want to swing on him. If it's not for the blatant disrespect, it's the fact that, it's the frustration of him making sense and no damn sense at the same time. So, in any case, we're gonna fast forward to that. All right, so all in all, what happened was Brittany Renner was on a podcast, and I forgot the name of it that fast. I need to keep my notebook with me, but yeah, it wasn't off the rip. That was when she was on with Fresh and Fit, but yeah, she was on the podcast, and she just completely flipped out and went ballistic because they were asking her about PJ Washington signing his contract extension. So he got 3 years, $48 million. I think it was 3 years, $48 million. I know it was $48 million. So so they asked her about it, and she was sitting there very calm, collected. You can already see the look of irritation come across her face. Probably of the fact that, that's what she's known for now. That's one of the main things that she's known for now. I think she's also been referred to as a professional side chick or professional 304. But we're gonna get into that in a minute. So she goes on to talk about how much she actually. Well, first of all, she answered their question because they asked her, "You as a woman, that used to date him, how do you feel about that? Or a woman that has a child with him, how do you feel about that?" And I felt that the initial response that she gave was very mature. And, it was, she said, yeah, ultimately, I want him to succeed. And I want him to get whatever it is that he feels that he is worth. And, that's that's a very mature answer. Because as a mother, you want your child's father to succeed, to be good. Because guess what? Success for him means success for your child. It's an easier life for your child. But then this is where things kind of went ballistic. I guess because they were sidebarring or whatever the case, and she just yelled into the mic, "Hello, is anybody listening?" And then it just went off the rails from there. So she's yelling and complaining. She said, yeah, then she goes on to say, listen, oh no, I'm sorry, I left the part out. So she goes on after she says about wanting him to succeed and do well in life and get whatever he feels that he deserves. She went on to say, she had a 7-inch tear from giving birth. So they actually had to go and do some surgical reconstruction. They had to sew her up basically because the baby was so the baby split her shit open basically. And I don't mean to be that graphic, but that's what yeah, that's what happened. So she basically said like, if she didn't love this dude, then she would not have gone through something so painful, So, and that, topic for another discussion. So, but she had went on to say, so at this point, this is when the other guys in the room started sidebarring, and that's when she went ballistic and started yelling and was like, "Hello, is anybody listening? Is anybody listening?" Now, I will say that I'm not saying that her response is completely warranted, but I have been irritated when when I'm talking to somebody and they sidebar, like, it's disrespectful. But like, no, there was something else also fueling this tirade too. They said it was alcohol. No, I know what drunk people look like. They look kind of like that, but no, she was on something else. Yeah, and maybe it might have been something else mixed with alcohol that caused that volatile reaction. So yeah, because the thing is that, like I stated a few minutes ago, she had like a good 5 or 6 month stretch where she was actually talking some good shit. She was on some mature shit, and she was basically saying like, all the stuff that I said, in the past was like, it was BS. So she went from telling her fans, if you want to come up on a check, fuck an athlete because they dumb and gullible. Then she went to that's when the whole thing with PJ Washington happened, and that fell out. And then she said it's stepdaddy season. Now it's time to it's time to go out and find that dude that's going to take care of you and your child that you had with somebody else. And that's why dudes really don't are really encouraging other men to kind of shy away from children from single mothers. Not necessarily because there aren't single mothers out here that are really trying to like make shit work and do it honestly, and was left in a fucked up situation because they got finessed, or they was led to believe, or they was really working on some shit, or some shit fell apart, or the dude passed away. So not to say that those single mothers don't do it, but when these single mothers are out here talking about how to finesse other dudes, that's what causes that that concern. So in any case, moving forward, so she went from telling people to fuck athletes to come up off of a check because they dumb and gullible. If they get you, and they want to do it raw anyway. So when obviously you're gonna get pregnant, they're gonna either pay the child support case out, they're gonna pay you, make you sign an NDA, or you just gonna get that 18-year check. Then to up until the podcast that they did with that she did on Pearl's platform with Andrew Tate, Auntie Jenny, and there's a couple other people, a few other people that I don't know. It's only them three that I knew. But she had a mature mindset up until that point, and I guess somewhere along the way she fell off the wagon, because then she started twerking and dancing in the club. Actually, no, I'm not even gonna fault her for that, because you should be able to go out and have fun. But the fact of the matter is, we got here. So, yeah, like, she went ballistic. This is what happens when when it all falls apart, because I guess that must have been like the last straw before, like, she hearing about this PJ Washington situation, and she started twerking on Charleston White, grinding on him and whatnot. He's married. I don't know. That's a conversation that he got to have with his wife or whatnot. He said he was uncomfortable, but nah. Sometimes you just got to throw a bitch across the room. I mean, like, 'cause no, like you're assaulting me at that point. But no, in any case, no, moving forward. Then she, the crowning moment was, I guess when she figured that she had enough, she just started throwing bottles of water and this, that, and other. Got up and started throwing water on the host, on Charleston White. Yeah. Man, it's just a bad look altogether. It's like she looked at Chrisean Rock's textbook example of how to walk off the set of a podcast. Like, oh man. But listen, like, it's really sad though. But like the woman that Brittany Renner was turning into at that point, somewhere around the December 2022, somewhere around the December 2022, where she was actually starting to, rebrand or reimagine her thinking, looked like that she could have bounced back from this. She could have bounced back from like whatever it was that she said. But this just goes to show you that when you are a content creator, you have to be able to take constructive criticism, and you got to be ready to deal with the hate when it comes. You got to be able to deal with the trolling, everything. There was a third thing. I had it right on the tip of my forehead, and I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, even more so, you got to have thick skin, especially if you lean into a villain persona, so like if you come on here and talk about like, yeah, I'm going to be the big bad, I'm going to be the bad guy, or the bad gal, rude gal, you gotta have that thick skin to be able to deal with whatever comes. Now, that's the one thing that I can say about Charleston White. He leans into his character, and he says that it's a character, but like the way that he talked and all that shit, like, yeah, all that shit. He says that's a character because of hip hop or whatever, and that's him trying to give hip hop a taste of their own medicine, or I don't know, whatever the fuck. But the fact of the matter is, like, he leans into his character and he owns it. He might own an ass whooping. That's why he keeps his hand on that's why he keeps his hand on that knife and that pepper spray. but yeah, this was I don't know if this was just a case of some shit that just happened, just erosion over time or what, but yeah. Brittany, baby girl, you need to, you gotta pull yourself together, man. You can't be out here like wilding out or whatnot on podcasts and this, that, and other. Now, the thing is that, you have some privilege. I don't know what privilege it is. Maybe pretty privilege, maybe being a woman and, dealing with gentlemen that, that don't knock you on your ass. But yeah, like that's something that you gotta think about. You gotta pull yourself together. Because right now you look messy. It is what it is. Listen, the whole contract thing with PJ Walker, I don't get it. It's like so that the talk around the internet now is saying, oh well, she missed out on $48 million, but I'm laughing so much. No, she missed out on $48 million, but I mean, she getting $200,000 a month if those reports are true, which is roughly $2.4 million a year. Over 18 years, that's 43, somewhere in that ballpark, $43 million. So she's not that far off, I mean, hey. But in any case, those are my thoughts. What did you think about Brittany Renner wilding out on the podcast? If I can ever think of the name of it, I'll put it in the title of the video. In any case, What did you think about her wilding out on the podcast? Put your comments in the comment section down below. We're going to start this conversation. Let's chop it up. My name's Advance. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on everything. I'm out.